Rebecca, are you looking ugly again today? What the hell was that, Thea? Well, it's been a year or so since I've last seen you, so I wanted to check up on you and see if you were still keeping up with being ugly. Just as I expected from you. You have literally no decency at all as an adult, and are still acting like that little bratty witch that I've always known you to be. Huh? So how has being a whore been for you? Stealing any fine men lately? Oh my god! Well, I'll have you know that I'm not the whore. All of those men are, because they keep coming after me when I'm not even trying to get with them. So what other choice do I have but to go out and have fun with them? Go ahead and think of it however you'd like. Now, tell me what you really want from me today. Oh, that's right. I have a really, really important bit of news to tell you. And what could that be? Right now, I'm on vacation with your husband in Guam. What? You went to Guam? That's right. I'm out here with your husband, Brad, and we are making love to one another at this private little cabin on the beach. I haven't seen Brad all night, and that's why? He left to go to Guam with you? That's right. So when are you guys coming back home? Huh? I want to know how many nights you two will be staying there and when you plan on coming back. What's going on here? You just had your own husband stolen away by me, and you're not even going to act a little bit surprised by that? What is wrong with you, Rebecca? Honestly, I'm just shocked by the fact that you took him all the way to Guam, of all places, to cheat on me. Are you kidding me? You should be crying at the sound of my news and begging me with all the strength you have right now to give him back to you. Why are you not worried about him at all? I knew about him cheating on me, so don't get your hopes up. Huh? I have known about you going out with Brad like that for a while now. I'm sorry that your plans of making me break down and beg for him back didn't work out for you. What? Now look, Thea, you and I have been in the same classes with one another in both middle school and then in high school. You and I both have a lot of the same friends, so I hear about you all the time. I'm sure that you're not very aware of this, but back here in town, not a lot of people really like you all too much, and all I hear about you is bad things. And thanks to always hearing the bad news about you, I learned that you'd been eyeing up Brad. Are you serious? A lot of people say that you yourself are married right now, but by the way you'd always go around town bragging about the men you were with, it almost felt as though your real husband didn't exist. When you both are back in town, I'll be having a word with you guys, along with my lawyer, about the divorce settlements. Please make sure to be there for that. Oh, I see. Well, that's no problem. I'm a little bit shocked that you already knew about all of this, but it's not going to change any of the plans I've made. Really? Is that so? Anyway, we will be back home in 3 more days. Since I'm no longer going to have to hide anything from anyone, I'm going to make sure to enjoy this little vacation to the fullest and post all about it. Well, as long as you're not going to try and run away, do as you please. Bye now. Thea, have you not been looking at any of the calls and texts coming from your parents? Why are you not going to answer anyone? Everyone is trying to get a hold of you right now. Oh my, if it isn't the loser who lost her husband to me. I'm sure you're getting all antsy now and sent me all those messages wanting him back from me, right? I knew that having Brad stolen from you was heartbreaking. This is not about Brad and you. Huh? Your husband, Mark? He had to be taken to the hospital because he came down with something really bad and hasn't been getting any better. I see. And? Since this morning, he's been on life support. Oh? Because you weren't answering any of those texts and calls from your family, they came to all your friends and people you know asking us to try and contact you. Come home right now, hurry! What? No, thank you. Huh? I'm sure you're just lying to me right now to try and get Brad and I to come home from our little romantic vacation before we planned to, right? I know that you and my family are all in that lie together and want me to stop having fun here with your husband. What the hell are you going on about? Things are not going well for your husband and his family right now, so hurry up and come home right away. Come on now, Thea. All right, okay. Keep on freaking out about how you want Brad back. I am not worried about Brad and you right now. Are you even listening to me? Right now, I'm a very busy woman because I have all this love I need to receive from Brad. We're both about to start having sex, so shut up already and let us have our fun. Jesus Christ, Thea. What the hell do you think you're doing right now? Your husband is on his deathbed. Oh, I just remembered something. I don't actually need Mark anymore, so you can go ahead and take him now since I'm taking Brad. I'm sorry that I'm giving him to you in such a sad state, though. Hopefully you don't mind getting a damaged product. This is not the time for you to be saying things like that. His family is all here, wondering where you are and why you're not here. You are starting to really annoy me now, so I'm going to block your number for the rest of this trip. What? Bye-bye. See you when I'm back from Guam. Hold it right there, Thea! Thea! I'm back! We just arrived back home a little bit ago. Therefore, I can unblock your phone number now. And another thing I have to let you know about is that Brad and I got engaged. So could you please hurry up and divorce him for me? You were telling me the other day that when we both got back, you'd want to talk to us about the divorce and the settlement, so make all of that quick, please. Both Brad and I want to get married to one another as soon as possible. You are so dang annoying. Huh? Oh, you must have turned into the Grinch while I was gone after having your husband stolen from you, right? That's hilarious. But that's why I said you can have Mark as a replacement for Brad. Although ever since he started to get really sick, he lost his job at that major company, and it's been pretty useless to me. Right now, I'm at Mark's funeral. What? I'm not family or anything to him, so I'm only here for the first procession, and then I'll be going home. But a lot of people have been murmuring to one another about where Mark's wife went and whether or not she'll be coming to his funeral today. Huh? A few of your friends that know about where you ran off to are here as well. So there is a chance one of them will talk, and the rest of your family and Mark's will know about what you've done. What? Huh? If you're still not going to believe all that I'm telling you right now, then how about you take a trip over to your parents' house right now? There, you will be able to figure out the truth in all of this and may start to panic a little. Are you being serious right now? Why, Rebecca? If this was really going on, you should have been trying even harder to get me to believe you. This is the worst timing ever for me to be coming back home from my vacation. So that's what you're going to say to me? Well, I guess that's expected from a wife that never bothered to care for her husband at all and didn't even show up once to the hospital to check on how her husband was doing. Also, it's starting to sound like a lot of people are learning about what you'd been up to behind your husband's back. Especially with Brad. I don't care about what all of them are thinking right now. Right now, things are very bad for me. I I showed up to the funeral after stopping by my parents' house, and as I walked inside, my dad slapped me with the most force I've ever taken. And my mom started to break down crying and wouldn't even look at me. All of Mark's family just stood there glaring at me in silence. Why are you getting all upset over that? That's how you should have expected everyone to react after what they'd seen and heard. Huh? It wasn't just you, though, that received those kinds of reactions from others. When Brad came stumbling back home, his dad was waiting for him and gave him a punch to the gut that caused him to vomit. What? Anywho, I'm divorcing him. And then I'll have my lawyer get you to sign the papers stating that you both now owe me some money. Oh, I see. Oh, that's totally fine. I'll be getting all that money Mark had from his will. That'll mean something, like your settlement won't even faze me because it'll seem so cheap. You think so? I can see that you really don't feel any sort of anxiety after what all's just happened. But my lawyer will be coming over in the next few days to have a word with you, so be ready for when he arrives. Sure thing. I'll be ready for whoever comes here. Hello, Rebecca. This is about that settlement you've asked me for? What's up? You don't think you could lower the amount you're asking for, or even perhaps just void this whole settlement in general? Listen, I thought that by the time I got all that money from Mark after he passed away, I'd be just fine. But after asking about when his money would be coming to me, I was told there was no money. And? I heard all of this from Mark's little sister. Well, he had been in the hospital for a very long time, huh? And, well, he had lost his job too, right? So all of that time in the hospital racking up his bills really did a number on the money he had in his savings. So there's nothing really left for me to have. I see. I then went and asked Brad about having him help pay the settlement off. But he told me no right then and there. Well, I'm sure something like that would happen. But no matter what excuses you have for me, you're going to have to pay me that settlement. What about lowering the amount you're asking for? And why should I do that? Ugh! What the hell is going on here? Hey! What the hell is this about Brad being jobless? Did he not get that company from his dad or what? I could have sworn he was telling me all about how his dad had this massive company and that it would be going to him next. Wow. You never heard anything about that from him recently, then? Heard about what? At first, he was supposed to be the next in line to receive that company and become the CEO. But after a little while, his dad, the current CEO at the time, realized that his son is nowhere near ready to become someone as respected as the CEO of that company. So he went and found someone from within his company to make the next CEO. And, well, it's been 5 months now since the new CEO took over that company. Who the hell took that position? I did. Huh? And from there, Brad no longer felt comfortable working in the company and quit. So when are you going to have that money to me by? I would like you to have it to me in the next few weeks, so were you able to find another way to get that money set up? What? You already know that I don't have any money. So that's your final answer then? I can see now why you were acting all tough about this whole situation you got yourself into. You thought you'd be getting both the money your dead husband should have left behind for you and the money that Brad would have been making as the CEO, right? Honestly, that's what I was thinking had been the case this whole time, but didn't want to spoil all your fun. If you already know that I'm not going to be able to pay you, how about you void the dang settlement? The settlement is another story, Thea. I knew something like this would end up happening, so I went and spoke with your grandpa about what should be done about you. Huh? My grandpa? You went and talked to him about me? Yep, and this is your grandpa on your mother's side of the family. He told me that he had some very good things in mind for getting you to both pay me for the settlement I've asked for and to try and fix that toxic behavior you've always had all your life. Wait, what? Why? I'm not even upset about you talking with my family about this, but why would you choose to talk with that crazy old man first? And actually, how the hell were you able to get in touch with him in the first place? Well, I'm sure you're not really aware of all this, and that's totally fine. But your grandpa's company just so happens to have some relationships with the company I'm in charge of now. What? In other words, what you and Brad had been doing started to have some influence on both of the companies, and discussion about you had to be made. There, your grandma and I came to a lot of conclusions about what had to be done with you, especially since you were causing bad rumors to spread around affecting business. No freaking way! Does this mean I'm going to have to go with that insanely strict old man now? And I'm not even talking about how bad my grandma is. She is way worse than him, and I don't want to know what she'll do to me if I see her. I've heard terrible stories about how she raised my mom's siblings. No. I don't want to end up like all of them. How the hell am I going to be able to have a life if I have to go to them now? There's no way those two will let me see the light of day ever again. Well, you have no other choice now, so stop complaining already. What? Thea, there's no other option for you anymore. While you'd been bragging about how you stole my husband from me, and then we're not going to have to worry about the divorce or the settlement because of your dead husband's and Brad's money, I was talking with your grandpa. Huh? So it's been going on this whole time? I had to make sure your grandpa heard about your every move so that he could prepare himself for how he wants to go about retraining you. No. I really hope that whatever he and your grandma have in store for you, it helps you become a better person. Bye-bye now. Rebecca! I don't want to go! And only 10 minutes later, Thea's grandpa arrived to pick her up and take her away. She tried her hardest to run from her parents' house to try and get away, but as she made it to the front door, she found out it had been locked from the outside. And who better than to come up from behind and grab her than that same dad of hers that slapped the hell out of her at the funeral. He then picked her up while she was screaming and walked her out to her grandpa's van so that he could put her in. A lot of the people in the neighborhood stepped outside to see what all the commotion was about, but when they saw it was Thea screaming her head off, they all went right back inside. She was taken to her grandpa's house that day, and a few days went by before I started to receive the money I had asked her for. And it wasn't just from her that I started to get my money from around that time, but also Brad. Brad's parents ended up disowning him after his dad punched his meal out of him, and since then he's been living in another town somewhere working in order to pay me. And with both my settlements now being paid, I can finally take a moment to relax and thank my lawyer. A couple weeks later, I got a couple texts from Thea again though, asking me to come and save her from her grandparents. I totally forgot that I hadn't blocked her yet, so that was the perfect reminder to get me to do just that. I'm not sure what types of punishments her grandparents are subjecting her to right now, but I'm guessing that not a single one of them is ineffective in helping fix whatever the heck was wrong with that girl's head. Good evening, Avril. It's me, Taylor. Who do you think I'm with right now? Go on, sweetie. Why don't you have a little guess? It could be fun. You'll never believe it. I'm with your sweet, darling husband. I have some rather unfortunate news for you, though. He won't be coming home to you tonight. Oh, sorry. Want to know why that is? Have a guess. Have a guess. Me and him will be spending the night having a little fun in a luxury hotel room, if you catch my drift. Don't bother objecting, because I won't be taking any complaints. Nothing but fun and positivity is allowed tonight, and believe me and your man will be enjoying plenty. Alrighty, well, it's finally time to turn off my phone, dim the lights, and enjoy a steamy night of passion with your husband. I'll let you know how things went in the morning. Good morning, Avril. You'll be pleased to know that your husband and I were going at it like rabbits until the sun came up. Man, am I tired. I don't remember the last time a guy gave me a servicing this thorough. Oopsie, is that too much information? Sorry, sweetie. What am I, like, stealing your husband all the way to myself like this? Someone really ought to stop me. I'm so greedy. Oopsie, I almost forgot to tell ya. He'll be going straight to work from the hotel, so you won't be seeing him for a little while longer yet. He can't say I didn't tell you now. Huh? What the hell is all this? Oh, Avril, there you are. I thought you disappeared from the face of the earth. I saw you weren't reading any of my messages, so I figured you were just looking at the notifications and trying to deny reality by shying away from replying to me. Burying your head in the sand won't work, dear. Sorry, but I've been on a plane this whole time. All of your messages came through at once when I landed, and I was a tiny bit confused, to say the least. Huh? You were on a plane? Yep, I just landed back in America. Wait, you mean you were abroad? Hang on, you've been on vacation? Good grief, dear, you should really know your place. Huh? Is it any wonder your husband cheats on you? Excuse me? If I were you, dear, I'd cherish the little time you have left to spend your husband's money on luxuries like overseas vacations while you still can, because you won't be able to for much longer. Sorry, you'll have to forgive me, but I keep looking through all these messages you sent me last night, and I still don't have a clue what you're talking about. The same goes for the stuff you're saying now. Huh? Actually, I'm pretty busy and have to go to work, so I don't have the time to get to the bottom of whatever the heck it is you're talking about right now. So if you'll excuse me, I have to go. Bye. Huh? Avril? What are you talking about? How can you not understand what's happening after everything I sent you? I spelled it out plain as day. How much more obvious can I make it? Do you need me to send you pictures of us in the act? Are you mentally handicapped or something? I literally couldn't make it any clearer if I tried. Oh, I know. That must be it. It's not that you don't understand. It's that the realization that your husband is cheating on you was so traumatic that you went into denial mode as a coping mechanism. I read about this in a psychology magazine before. It's a real thing. Wait, does that mean you lied about going on vacation too? Was that another coping mechanism? Oh dear, this is just too pathetic. Sadly for you, I have no intention of ending my fling with your husband. Sucks to be you, but our steamy love sessions will continue for the foreseeable future, dear. Eventually, if we carry on long enough, you'll have to divorce him. If there's anything resembling a brain cell in that hollow head of yours, I'd suggest you start making the necessary emotional and financial preparations to say goodbye to your man forever. Hey Jess, I just landed back in America. How's my favorite big sister doing? Hey Avril, welcome home. I'm doing great, thanks. Thanks for looking after my son while I was away on business. You really are a lifesaver. Don't mention it. We more or less live together anyway, so it's not like anything really changed. You don't have to thank me at all. Well, I want to. It just so happens I splurged on a little something for you while I was abroad by way of thanks. Aw, you shouldn't have. That does sound great, though. I'm super excited to see what it is. Will you be going back to work now? Yep, I have to file some important documents away in the safe. But I was told I could wait until tomorrow before I make my official leaving announcement, so I plan on resigning after tying up a bunch of loose ends at the office today. I should be all right to make it home by this evening. I see. All right, that's great. Oh, yeah. There was something else I wanted to discuss with you. It's kind of important. Someone who seems very much like they might be the woman Dan's cheating on you with showed up on my radar recently. What? This is just speculation for now, so we should definitely find out whether it's true or not first before we do anything with it. Who is she? Her name is Taylor. She's one of the other moms I sometimes speak to outside kindergarten. Taylor? Wait, that name rings a bell. Hang on, wasn't she the single mom whose husband divorced her when he found out their daughter wasn't his? The one who still doesn't seem to be able to tell the difference between me and you? I think she came up to me outside kindergarten last month. She tapped me on the back and said, "Hey, Avril," just like she always does. Yes, that Taylor. When I turned my phone back on after landing at the airport, it started blowing up with this never-ending torrent of weird, creepy messages from her. She sent them all while I was flying. I don't know how the hell her mind works, but her messages were so full of misunderstandings, I could hardly believe what I was reading. Based on the overall vibe, I think she's the girl we've been looking for. I see. Well, one thing's for sure. If it's Taylor we're talking about here, she's definitely capable of doing something like that. I was planning on showing you the chat logs when I got home, but if you'd rather see them sooner, I can send you everything right now if you like. Right. You know what? I think it's best I see them now. Would you mind sending them? Sorry for the trouble. It's no bother. I'll send everything now. Thanks a bunch. You're the best, sis. Avril, how's it going, you tragic little mess? Guess whose hunky stallion of a husband I'm with again today? Yep, that's right. Yours! Judging from the fact that you haven't replied to me once since before, is it fair to assume you've completely given up and resigned yourself to your fate? I'm sure having to come to terms with the fact you're the kind of woman who gets cheated on must be a bitter pill to swallow, but you can't deny reality any longer. You know, I actually think it's very admirable of you to accept your situation like this. Anyway, I'll be spending tonight wrapped in Dan's big, strong, muscular arms before letting him have his way with me in a tempestuous frenzy of rough, sensual passion that lasts until the early hours. Hey, Avril, I'm sorry to message you with this, but my husband's in the next room, so I figured it would be better to do it quietly without raising any suspicion. Hey, that's fine by me. Is this about the small matter we discussed before? Yes. I sent a request to a private investigator after you pointed me in the direction of a potential suspect for the woman my husband's been seeing behind my back. It turns out their relationship's been ongoing since way before she sent those messages laying everything bare. Ah, I see. Well, I guess that's not so surprising, thinking about how long ago it was when you first started to suspect something was going on. It makes perfect sense that they'd have been doing it a while. That's not all. I found out something else. And good lord, I swear, Avril, this one's gonna blow your mind. Blow my mind? How to put it? It's actually kind of crazy. What? You're scaring me now, sis. Go on, what is it? Actually, you know what? Sorry, babe, but this one's a little too shocking for text. So I'm gonna have to wait till my husband's out before I tell you. I'm gonna get started on punishing him for his low-life scumbag behavior real soon. Which is inevitably gonna mean you're getting dragged into it. I'm really sorry about this, sis. It's fine, I'm already prepared. Do whatever the hell you want to him. I don't want you to hold back, not even for 1 second, okay? Get him, Tiger! Believe me, I don't plan on holding back at all. That scumbag's gonna regret crossing me, that's for sure. Yay, we did it! Avril, I finally have a reason for you to divorce your husband. Hi, Taylor. I see you're just as annoying as ever this morning. What do you want? Make it quick. Don't be such a meanie, Avril. Fine, if that's your attitude, I'll come straight out with it. I'm pregnant with your husband's baby. Excuse me? With this, my position as the CEO's future wife is set in stone. Huh? Pregnant? The CEO's future wife? What are you talking about? Oh, come on. Are you actually that dense? Surely you must have some idea of what I'm talking about. I intentionally got pregnant to steal your position as the CEO's wife. Your husband belongs to me. The title of CEO's wife belongs to me. What are you talking about? Do you want me to repeat myself? Like I just said, I am pregnant with your husband's baby. Don't make me go through this boring old routine of making me repeat myself again, woman. With this, now you have no choice but to divorce him. I really don't have the faintest idea what you're talking about. Like I said, God, are you brain damaged or something? Read through the messages again if you still don't get it. I'm done repeating myself with you. Hey, Taylor, why don't you take a chill pill? Want to know something I do know? I do know that you're making the mother of all misunderstandings here. Huh? Misunderstandings? Me? What am I misunderstood about? Go on, this should be good. First of all, my husband isn't the CEO. Second of all, he was sent on a long-term work transfer to Arkansas a year ago and has been too busy to come back ever since. So we haven't seen each other in person in ages. Huh? You think my husband is called Dan, don't you? Yes, I know that's his name. What are you trying to do? Confuse me so I'll stop rubbing our steamy affair in your face? Well, it's not going to work. It's time to wake up and smell the coffee, Missy. I've seen the two of you coming out of the same house together countless times. Are you trying to tell me my own eyes are lying to me? Good grief. Are there any lengths you won't go to maintain your complete denial of reality? I'm actually starting to feel sorry for you now. Dan is my brother-in-law. Your brother-in-law? My sister and I moved into our parents' house when they retired early to live a quiet life out in the country. It was a joint two-family house, so now I live in one side and my sister lives in the other. Excuse me? Let me spell it out for you, basically. Dan, who technically lives in the same property as me, is my sister's husband. Wow, really? He is? Taylor, let me ask you something. Did you think I had 2 children? Huh? Well, yes, I did. It looked like you had 2 kids of the same age, so I thought they might be twins. You see, the thing is, I still only have 1 child. Huh? The other one is my sister's. What? Are you kidding me? Wow, I see. I knew it. You thought me and my sister were the same person, didn't you? We're almost the same age and look really similar in the face. But like I just told you, my husband is away on a work transfer and he hasn't been around for over a year. So the only male adult in these houses is Dan, my brother-in-law. So like I said before, it would appear that you made a huge misunderstanding based on a bunch of unfounded assumptions and a severe case of mistaken identity due to knowing absolutely nothing about our actual circumstances. I see. So that's what's going on here. So Dan's wife was your older sister all along? Whatever. Am I phased? No. That's no problem at all. That's right. This changes nothing. Who cares who his current wife is? He'll still end up divorcing your sister all the same. And I'm still set to inherit the title of CEO's wife. Yeah, about that. Would you mind telling me exactly why you think that's going to happen? Sure, easy peasy. Dan is the CEO of Lubricated Logistics, one of the most well-known shipping companies in the US. Which means that when he divorces your sister and me and him finally tie the knot, I'll be the CEO's wife. But the CEO is a woman. Huh? To be more precise, the CEO of Lubricated Logistics is my sister. What? You would have known this straight away if you bothered to check out the company homepage instead of getting carried away with your wild fantasies and outrageous delusions. Didn't you take a look? Homepage? I don't know anything about that. If the CEO's a woman, what does Dan do at the company? He doesn't even work for them. He works at one of Lubricated Logistics' subcontractor companies, but even then, it's not like he's a high-up or anything. He's just a regular old employee. What? No way, this can't be. You're lying. You're lying. You're lying. No, I'm definitely not lying. Oh yeah, and there was one more thing. What? That baby you're pregnant with? Dan's not the daddy, is he? What? What on earth are you talking about? Do you have a single shred of evidence to back up such an absurd claim? Dan's infertile. What? He became infertile after developing a serious infection not long after the birth of his and my sister's first child. The doctors told him he'll never have kids again. No way, I can't believe this. Wait a sec, actually, hang on. So that's why he looked so troubled when I announced that I was pregnant? I just knew something was off about his reaction. It's probably because that was the moment he realized you were seeing other guys behind his back. There must be a poetic irony in realizing the woman you're having an affair with is also cheating on you, huh? Oh my, this is awful. Surely there has to be some kind of a mistake here. Does he really know? And he found out like that? Anyway, Taylor, how about we wrap this up with a message from my sister? Huh? Irrespective of who the father of that baby in your belly is, the fact that you had an affair with my husband remains the same. Prepare to pay me large sums of compensation. No, hold on a second. Dan isn't the CEO, right? If Dan isn't the CEO, who's going to cover my share of the compensation? I sure as hell can't afford to pay it myself. Even if Dan was the CEO, you're deluded if you think he'd ever pay your share of the compensation after what you did. The two of you may have been engaged in an affair, but you still lied to him and got pregnant by another man behind his back. So I'm going to go out on a limb and say marriage is probably off the table, and realistically, he most likely is going to break up with you before long. No way, he wouldn't! Actually, he would. Apparently, he already made it clear things with you are over, so it'd probably be wise to start making your own plans for the future. My sister took full custody of their child, and he already promised to pay her compensation for the affair, as well as monthly child support payments until their daughter grows up. Oh, and this should go without saying, but naturally he'll only be paying his share of the compensation, and not yours. What? If you actually stop to give it some thought, I'm sure you'll quickly understand. If there's actually anything resembling a brain cell in that hollow head of yours, that is. Oh my god. No, this can't be happening. No. Are you serious? You have got to be kidding me. What am I supposed to do now? I can't be on my own. What do I do, Avril? Why are you asking me? None of this is my problem. What do I do? No, please, I'm serious. I have no clue how to get by on my own, and if I have to pay compensation, I'll be even more screwed. Bye, Taylor. But if he's not the dad, then who is? The crazy thing my sister mentioned earlier was the fact that Taylor had been simultaneously seeing over a dozen different guys. Over the coming days, she received a monstrous bill for compensation. In a not-so-genius move, she caused a huge scandal when she went to the houses of each of her lovers one by one to try and ascertain which one was the baby daddy, also alerting their wives to the fact their husbands had been cheating on them in the process. She did end up figuring out who the dad was, but at what cost? Taylor's parents, already sick and tired of their daughter's reprobate behavior, finally decided to wash their hands of her and declare that enough was enough. Not only that, but after being deemed unfit to be a mother, both of her children were taken by child services and passed into the custody of relatives. Last I heard, Taylor's currently working several intensely physically demanding manual labor jobs in a desperate bid to come up with the compensation she now owes not only my sister, but also the 6 other women whose husbands she was sleeping with. Good luck, girl. You're gonna need it.